Hi there, this is James Tripp. This is Hypnosis Without Trance. Now today is the 22nd of October 2011, and if you were in the UK last night, the 21st of October, you would have had the opportunity to see Derren Brown's new show, the beginning of his new series called The Experiments, and the show itself was called The Assassin. And the show was all about exploring exactly what it's possible to do with hypnosis, how far you can go with hypnosis. Now, I don't want to give away any spoilers about the show, but as I say, the show was exploring exactly, how far you can go with hypnosis. And it was tapping into that idea. There's the old conspiracy theory that suggests that Senator Robert Kennedy was assassinated by a hypnotically programmed assassin. So the suggestion is that the CIA or some covert government body was hypnotically programming assassins to do certain things, and this was one of them who assassinated Robert Kennedy. And there is evidence that the CIA were involved in this kind of, certainly experimenting in this way. But whether or not that particular theory is true, I don't want to get into. The question is it possible? And that's the question that Derren was answering. And of course, Derren Brown's in an incredibly wonderful position that he gets to do these kinds of experiments. And that's what the show was all about. It's about running this experiment to see if they could hypnotically program up an everyday member of the public to become a hypnotic assassin and to actually assassinate a public figure, a recognized public figure. And that was the premise of the show. So the question is, can it be done? Can you turn somebody into a hypnotic assassin? And if it can be done, what does that say about hypnosis? What does it say about going to visit a hypnotherapist? Well, let's look at those things. So first of all, can it be done? The short answer is yes. In my experience, from what I know about hypnosis, yes, it is quite plausible that you could do that. However, what I think is worth making clear is you could do it with a very particular set of circumstances. Now, off the top of the head, I would say there are about four crucial things that would need to be in place to do this. First of all, you would need a phenomenal hypnotic subject, a phenomenal responder, a hypnotic virtuoso, or what's classically called a somnambulist. You would need a hypnotist who has the skill to do it. You would need a hypnotist who has the knowledge to do it. And you would need an appropriate context for that hypnotist to operate within. Now, the situation that Derren's in is he's in a place where he has all four of those things in place. Most hypnotists don't, not off the bat. So if you're worried that somebody can come and mind control you into doing something unspeakable, it's extremely unlikely. It's extremely unlikely that that's going to happen in everyday life, and it's extremely unlikely that, in fact, it's almost guaranteed that your average clinical hypnotist or hypnotherapist does not have those four things in place. So if you go to see a clinical hypnotist or a hypnotherapist, I would like to just reassure you at the moment that you are not going to get yourself programmed into doing anything toxic or antisocial, okay? Because they're not going to have, most of them are not even going to have any of those things in place, let alone all four. However, hypnosis is potentially a powerful thing. It's something that's very powerful in many contexts, and in the right context could be devastatingly so. So those four things. There's the hypnotic subject, the right kind of hypnotic subject, a hypnotic virtuoso. There's the hypnotist who has the knowledge required, the skill set required, and is able to create an appropriate context. Now let's just quickly look at those things as it relates to Derren and Derren's program. So first of all, the subject, the phenomenal subject, the great responder. We saw at the beginning, Derren had an audience full of people. Now those people, I believe, were pre-selected. They're already pre-selected. It's already a whole auditorium full of great hypnotic responders, full of hypnotic virtuosos. And Derren, he has a play around, does some waking hypnosis stuff, does some rapid induction stuff, and has a play. And then he takes people through a series of tests, responsiveness tests, or often called suggestibility tests. though I don't like the term suggestibility. I like to think more in terms of ability, because these people have an ability which is rare. About 1 in 10 have it, maybe. So Derren kind of whittles down the audience, and he whittles them down to one guy who's a phenomenal responder. So this is the point number one. Derren gets the phenomenal responder, the hypnotic somnambulist, the hypnotic virtuoso. Number two, Derren is clearly a hypnotist with the skills required, and he's a hypnotist with the knowledge required. The important thing to realise is a show like Derren Brown's show, it's very easy to look at it and think Derren's the man, and he is the man, he's the front of the show, but there's a whole team of people. Derren has years and years of knowledge, but there's a whole team of people, a whole team of researchers behind that show, finding out exactly what they need to know, playing around, experimenting, setting the thing up, designing the thing. So the knowledge isn't just Derren's knowledge, it's a whole team of expertise behind that. So yeah, that factor kind of comes in very, very clearly. The last point is the context to do it. Now Derren is in a position, because Derren Brown is like a, metaphorically speaking, he's a phenomenon in and of himself. He is the phenomenon of Derren Brown. He can create this whole thing, he can create this show. It's Derren Brown, he has power, he has impact. People come along, they feel that they are becoming part of something. Everyone there at the beginning is like they're there, and Derren's new show, they're part of something special. This is important in the context. They're part of something special and important. And the guy who gets whittled down and selected, he is part of something special and important. Now, he doesn't know what it is. They don't tip off to him consciously what's going on. But all he knows is he's part of something special and important, and he's bought into it. He's given himself over to it. And this is a really, really key thing. If you think about this idea that government bodies, covert government bodies, may hypnotically program people up, they also have that ability to set up a context whereby they can bring somebody in and have them feel that they're part of something important and significant. That's really, really key. And you'll get it in every area. I mean, people may wonder, why would a suicide bomber blow themselves up? Well, you know, whether you call it hypnotic programming or not, it's probably not hypnotic in the classic sense of it, but they've been brought in, they've been indoctrinated, and they feel that they are part of something bigger and more important than themselves, something greater. It's a contextual thing that has a phenomenal amount of power to it. So context is really, really important. So does your average hypnotist have those things in place? Well, the simple answer is no. You can go and see a clinical hypnotist or a hypnotherapist, and you can have them work with you to get phenomenal change. And you won't need to be a phenomenally responding hypnotic subject, because we can all respond to hypnosis. Some do it magnificently, and the rest of us do it about average, which is enough to do what I would call change work. So your average hypnotherapist, do they have the knowledge or the skills to hypnotically program you to become an assassin? No, they don't. They have the knowledge and the skills to help you make wonderful changes in your life. Do they have the context to turn you into a hypnotic assassin? No, they don't. They have the context of a therapy session, of helping you out, of helping you to make changes. So, yes, the answer is yes. With the right set of conditions, you can probably program somebody up hypnotically to do something absolutely nuts, like assassinate a public figure. Does that mean that most hypnotists have what it takes to do that? No, they don't. And it doesn't make them any less powerful in their own niche, which for the majority of cases is either the niche of helping people create wonderful changes or helping people make fools of themselves on stage, which is not something I'm overly enamoured of. If you want to learn more about hypnosis, how hypnosis can work for you, how you can help people with it, how you can just play around and help people enjoy learning more about the power of their mind, and enjoy yourself learning more about the power of the human mind, please do visit www.hypnosiswithouttrance.com and have a look at the blog there, and there's a ton of stuff there. Have a look around the site. And check out some of the free tutorials on how to do some fun waking hypnosis stuff. Like there's a good hand stick tutorial on the blog and various other bits and pieces. And if you have any questions about hypnosis, or how to do hypnosis, or how to become a hypnotist, or how to become a better hypnotist, please do contact me via the blog. Again, it's www.hypnosiswithouttrance, and I look forward to engaging in conversations with you in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.
Go ahead, it's your arms stuck and your elbow locks and shoulder locks. Go ahead and try and lift that, find your fingers stick more, your elbow locks more.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That's right, just sticks and locks.
Yeah.
The harder you try, the more it sticks and locks all the way through. It's solid, it just becomes out all the way out, past the moon, past the stars, so it's gone now. When it's gone now and you send it all the way out, you look at me and it's gone. Notice what happens when you try and say your name and it's gone. Just keep looking at me, you try and say your name and it's gone. Just keep looking at me, try. Try and say it's gone. Try. It just goes further and further away. Why do you try? Try and say it. Can you say it? What was it?
I can see it.
Okay. Where can you see it when it's gone?
I can see the letters.
Okay, so the letters you can see just float even further away, and then try and say it. Okay, here's the thing. You know it's all the way up there? It comes all the way back in. In there. And what's your name?
Martin.
Martin. Well done, Martin.
Look at the letters.
And what happens when you try and get up out of the seat?
I can still get it.
You start coming out of the seat still. What I'm setting up is an arm lock, and I'm setting up that card. I'm challenging it. Try and drop that card. Find your card. It's stuck in her hand. It's weird, she says. This is her new reality now.